Oh my goodness, I made it. I'm so sorry. I'm 11 minutes late. This is my first live ever, and I successfully made it on. So if any of you are still here, I'm super excited to dive in and share with you who I am and what I'm doing. I'm Jamie Young. I am the founder of Jamie Young Swag and Strategy and the creator of the Swag Strategy and Sales System. I also love to call this the gift marketing method. Now, over the next 6 days, I do want to show you how my unique gift marketing method can help you generate more loyalty, leads, and clients. And that is through giving, that is through growth, and that is through cultivating goodwill. Now, I'm diving right in because we don't have a whole lot of time today, and I was a little bit late getting on. So why? Why in the world should you consider this? Why is this important? Why are we even discussing this today? Why are you on here today? This is a high-tech world with very low touches and high volumes is the norm. It's just so much is coming at you, just constantly. The marketplace is creating connection. I value connection. And the gift marketing is thoughtful and it's relationship building. Now, the plan is to build that and bring you top of mind. And when done properly with great strategy, the ROI is hard to beat. So hold on really quick. I want to take a second to, yay! So we've got lots of people on here. Oh my goodness, you guys are so generous to take time out of your day. And I know some of you can't stay for the entire 15 minutes or so. I completely understand that, but I do appreciate you being here today. Okay, so with that said, strategy is super important. Getting a return on your investment is super important. And we're talking swag and strategy. So swag is also known as promotional products and chat skis and custom gifts and custom apparel, all these things that we own something that is marketing related, something that has someone else's brand on it. Let's just say that. We all have something. But I do want to give you an example. There was a client that I worked with a couple of years back, and he did trade shows. He was a hypnotherapist. In working with him, it wasn't the first time that I worked with him. And I had a conversation with him one year, and I just said, hey, how'd the show go? What was your experience this year? And he's like, Jamie, this was the best year I've ever had. I'm like, interesting, okay. What did you do differently? And he had a plan. He brought out a spin wheel, and I'm like, well, what does a spin wheel have to do with hypnotherapy? And he's like, nothing. But I know that I only have 3 seconds as my potential clients are walking by to capture their attention, get them to come spin my wheel. And while they're spinning my wheel, I'm asking qualifying questions. If they answer that question appropriately, I know that they're an ideal client or they're not. So he knows how to handle that lead moving forward. So it was really great to be able to hear stories of success. Let's talk about some problems. Problems salespeople feel. Business owners, no matter what your position is, we often feel invisible. We feel like, are we connecting? Do people know who we are, that we exist? Oftentimes business people are feeling like there's just not enough hot leads out there. They're blending in, they're not memorable. And honestly, they're overwhelmed with traditional marketing advertising. I know I am. I'm a business owner. There's so many things coming at me. What do I do? What do I not do? It's, again, extremely overwhelming. And another problem is they just don't know how to make the best of a promotion. And they honestly think promotional products are unaffordable. Like unless you have gone through and been successful and gone this route, you understand the effectiveness and how affordable it is. So if you're looking at something that sees thousands of impressions, well, most promotional products receive 1,300 impressions. And so the cost for that product is less than pennies per impression. So it's actually extremely effective. A couple questions I have for you guys if you're still on here. And give me a little message in the inbox here. How many of you have used some form of gift marketing in your business? Just get me like a thumbs up if you've done that. How many of you have not? You can say no. And yeah, some of you are like, it's for me, it's not for me. You know, maybe it's not a big deal, you know. You're here or there on it. And I really hope today that you're coming and you're ready to learn a few tips to generate some new clients. And if you are kind of me on the topic, hopefully, you know, you can take some takeaways from today. Now let's talk about some promo facts. I actually brought this here with me today. So the Promotional Products Association International did a study that showed, this is big, 70% of promo products mostly or always are effective in achieving their marketing goals. Now, this is businesses. So businesses feel that 70% of the promotional products mostly or always are effective in achieving their marketing goals. Now, 79, this is the reaction. So this is the person receiving the item. This is the consumer. The reaction is that 79%, that's almost 80% of people who have received a gift, this is a branded gift, they went and researched that brand. They hopped online, who's this company? Because they didn't know. And grab your pens. I want you to write this one down. You're definitely going to want to write it down. You're going to be surprised. So 83% of people that do receive branded products and merchandise are more likely to do business with that company after receiving that. That's a big number, 83%. So let's talk about products that are kept over a year. 81% of promotional products are kept over a year. 18% of them are kept over 11 years. That is crazy. And then 22% are kept between 6 and 10 years. So again, this is something that if you've ever worked with me, then you understand this, that one-time uses, I feel, are a waste of your money. They need to stick around. They need to have a life. Calendars have a year's life to them. So definitely don't think of water bottles, like reusable water bottles that are one-time use and they throw them away. It's just not an effective use of your dollars. Okay, so not everybody knows my past, my history, and how I got to where I am today. Have run the Portland Women's Expo for 7 years. I'm currently planning 2020. And through that experience, I've seen businesses succeed and I've seen them struggle. And I learned very early on in my first year there, doing renewal calls, calling and checking in to see how did the event go. Did you reach your goals? Was there a return on your investment? And I saw that there was a distinct difference between those who succeeded and those who did not. And the difference is those who were successful had a solid engagement plan. They had everything planned out. They knew exactly who their target market was. They knew what their marketing goals for the year were, so that way they can implement those and drive those home at the show. It was fantastic. It was heartbreaking to have the conversations with businesses who did not have a rock solid engagement plan, because they showed up with a pretty smile, they had their brochures, and they stood there and they expected for the attendees to engage them. It's not gonna happen. You have 3 seconds in person to make that connection. So, so in figuring that out, I learned to start asking tougher questions, and that ultimately led me to open my business, because in those strategy calls with those vendors moving forward, I was constantly making suggestions on, well, if you're going to bring out that game and that activity, people aren't going to give you their information for free, right? Like, it's a give to receive scenario. So if you are a dentist, make sure that, and you're there to collect emails, for instance, have like a lead capture form and give out promotional products that represent your brand. So in that case, is it a credit card floss that slides right into your billfold? It's just got to make sense. So businesses were doing this. They were succeeding. They were experiencing a great return on their investment. And the expo is just one example of the results of success when it comes to gift marketing. So when I started 7 years ago, the Women's Expo renewal rate was in the teens. Right now, we're probably sitting at about 70% renewal from the last event. And that number will increase because there's a lot of last minute Joes out there. But that's a huge difference. And I'll kind of go into, once we get to, I think it's probably day 3, I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that in depth. Okay, so moving forward, so the first step was, getting promotional products where the strategy is strong and it's just really closely tied to their success and that solid return on their investment. So okay, so we're diving in, swag, strategy, and sales. And what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to cover 5 areas, and you're going to want to jot these down. So number 1, areas that I'm going to cover, and so this is a 6-day live. So day 1 is just kind of an orientation of everything that we're going to cover over the next 5 days. So number 1 that we're going to cover tomorrow is marketing and sales goals. Now, this is to set your marketing and promotional goals and to be crystal clear on your ideal clients. Also, those income streams so that your efforts will bring you the most business. I ask some pretty tough questions when we get into here. I want to know, are you B2B? Are you business to consumer? Where are these people hanging out? How are they spending their time? Because when you're giving promotional products, you want to show up in their life at a very specific time. And you need to know when that time is, right? If you're a consumer-based business, you might not want to show up when they are at work. If you're a business to business, a B2B like I am, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to show up during dinner time when they're in their kitchen because it's very disconnected. So I just want to leave you with that. All right, day 2, well, technically day 3, but module 2, the second level in the program is we're going to talk about live events and the sales and strategy for that. Obviously, I have a lot of experience in live events and trade shows, small and large, so we're definitely going to dive into that. This is the best opportunity to connect with hundreds and thousands of prospects and new clients, and this is in one place. Nowhere else can you go and have that level of opportunity in person. If you have a storefront and you're sitting in a brick and mortar right now, right there on your front step, you're not going to see 10,000 potential prospects, ideal clients walk on your doorstep. In the right trade show, that will absolutely happen. So a super powerful platform. We're going to dive into that, how you can generate the more leads, how you can get sales, several opportunities under this category, and jot these ones down. We're going to talk about sponsorships, being a vendor at shows. We're going to talk about speaking. We're going to talk about hosting. So that will be the second module. Number 3, we're going to talk about social media and snail mail. Snail mail is not 1985, right? It is creating that connection that is currently being lost. So we're going to dive into that a little bit. And those are 2 deeply connected ways to connect with your audience in this high-tech social media world with low-tech and snail mail. I signed on with an agency recently for some additional help in my business. And as a new client gift, I wasn't expecting this, but in the mail, and I was so proud of her, she sent me this little welcome package. And in there was an adorable, oh, I should have brought it to this call, this adorable to-do list, an awesome pen, and a handwritten note. And she mailed that off to me within, I think, 2 or 3 weeks of me hiring her agency for some help. So that was super special. I have provided her a ton of referral sent, not necessarily 100% because of the gift that she sent me, but I feel so connected to her. I feel like she really cares about my business. So anyways, that kind of covers some snail mail strategy and how you can really stand out from the rest of the pack in a crowded marketplace. How do you stand out and get renewals and earn new clients and get those referrals? So 4 out of 5. So the 4th topic we're going to talk about, and this is day 5, is we're going to talk about renewals, referrals, and the retention strategy. Now, these are 3 often underutilized strategies that will grow your business significantly. So with leads, and if you have the right referral partners, they're bringing business to you. You've got to develop those relationships because they are power partners. You can talk with Brittany Nelson about the power of referral partners because that's her thing, man. But I've seen it firsthand in my business. I have seen how developing those relationships, and we're just giving. Renewals, I know a lot about renewals. You definitely got to follow up with those clients. You got to check in with them. You have to remind them that you're there. They will be loyal. They're busy, just like we are. And you're taking time with me today. And I know you probably don't have a ton of it, but the renewals it's really important for your business. And the retention, sometimes clients will go and sometimes they'll come back once they realize how much time and how efficient you've made their business. So we'll go ahead and talk about that on step 4. And then the last portion that we are going to cover, and that is the gift marketing roadmap. I mean, that is bringing everything together. So we've talked about your goals and your ideal clients. We've talked about live events. We've talked about social media, and we've talked about the renewals and the referrals and the retention. And so when you put together a full plan and strategy all together, that's when your plan is clear and you understand who your target market is. So I definitely want to work with you, create and implement your roadmap. So here's the dream. Here's the dream for me. Here's the dream for you. Imagine if you could generate more hot leads and more sales, leading with generosity. What if you didn't need to chase people? You could attract them in more naturally and more connected. And what if you fostered a stronger sense of culture and a deep sense of loyalty with your employees and to keep your clients longer too? And with your staff, how can you make them more engaged salespeople? I heard a long time ago, a client this was in the restaurant business, but he was complaining about one of my waitresses. And he says, what you have on your hands is a liability, not an asset. And I never really thought about it that way. I mean, she wasn't the best. She was really lazy in the work that she was doing. But from that point forward, every employee I ever had, I even tried to make sure that I looked at myself. Am I an asset right now or am I a liability? So I know I got off track there a little bit, but promotional products are also a way to incentivize your staff and recognize them and just make them feel great. Okay, so moving on from employees. it is possible with the gift marketing method to generate those leads and generate those clients through giving, through growth, and cultivating goodwill. And I do invite you to join me with the swag strategy and sales program and create your plan for more leads and sales in 2020. What we have not covered here today are all the campaign opportunities that represent the best opportunities for your custom plan for your business. So I do want to, because of this gap of what we learned today and what else there is to learn on top of that, I do have a free resource for you. So just drop me a message in the inbox and just say free hot training. I'll go ahead and send that over. That is the 5-step gift marketing guide. I'm also going to give you the promo fact sheet because you're going to want to see this. It's super helpful in understanding the power of promotional products. And for everyone who's super fired up and wants to discuss a do-it-yourself self-guided program or a VIP day one-on-one private with me, if you're interested in the next level, I mean, there's 3 ways to work with me. I call it the good, better, and best. I mean, the good is, hey, Jamie, I just need promotional products. I just need to see polos embroidered. I'll send them on over to you. The better version is the self-guided, do-it-yourself program where you will be guided through every single step. And then there's the best option, and that is the private one-on-one. I'm going to write a strategy for you. We're going to make sure it works for the year and get you connected, get you more clients in a relationship building manner. Now the benefits and the result of the program, you will have a rock solid plan to reflect your brand and budget. You will also get out in front of your competition to welcome those new clients to you. It's important to increase your return on your investment. I completely understand that. I always look at it as, what is a new client worth to me, right? So I have my average, you have your average. So knowing how many new sales you need to gain in order to make this program work. And so I think you need to ask yourself those questions too. So the self-guided program, the DIY, is about 5 hours of content. The VIP day one-on-one with me, we will have 2 1-hour private sessions. Session number 1, I ask extremely tough questions because I need to know who you are, who your target market is, and we can get a rockin' plan together for you. I then go take what you gave to me, I spend 3 to 4 hours, I build that plan, I build that roadmap and that strategy, and then I'll sit down with you virtually or in person, whatever you prefer, and lay that strategy out and how that implementation, how we implement that. I'm human, I'm not pre-recorded. A couple bonuses just to make sure you really do succeed. I do want to also, if you're super fired up and you're super excited, I also want to give you the annual gift marketing guide. And this is a 12-month calendar of examples of what kind of marketing campaigns you can be running this year. And again, remember, if you didn't feel invisible, if you had plenty of leads, if you stood out and remained top of mind, if you had a strategy to generate more leads and clients through giving, growing, and cultivating goodwill, are you ready to start building those relationships? Are you ready to grow your business? And are you ready to cultivate goodwill? I'm Jamie Young, and this was the Swag Strategy and Sales Program. I'm excited to meet with you. If anything that I said today resonated with you and you're fired up, just private message me, tell me more, and we can get a strategy session set up. So thank you so much for joining me. Much love. All right, bye guys.